Hello. We've had an amazing 2 drives in the wilds of South Africa and Kenya. This is Safari Catch Up.
You may not believe this. It's something we rarely see, and I don't know when we're going to see next. These are 3 of those boys. Moja Moja is one amongst them. Otipo is one amongst them too. And look at how cool this is. For those of you who could be joining us now, these are the Topi boys. It's a coalition of 7 males. Otipo is up and mobile. Not sure exactly where he is going. I would have guessed they would have some food last night. They didn't get any. And that is Otipo. Not sure. Otipo sometimes tends to behave like the dominant male. There's one other one whose tail is dripping water from where he was. If you look at his tail, the very tip is dripping some water. Otipo is up. Okingo is up. Moja Moja is up. Very, very good camera work. Marcel, good job. Just seeing the legs there, the big paws on the move. How lovely is that?
We thought we'd just slow things down with last night's full moon and this morning still full moon. We know it's full because it's setting as the sun is rising, and around the world it's got different names today. Some will call it a harvester's moon because of the time of year around the autumn equinox, but in South Africa we call it the whale moon, and it is a supermoon. Appears much brighter and larger than normal because it's a little bit closer to Earth. Wonderful time to let go of all those things that don't serve you, and those things you've been holding on to, maybe that aren't working for you. I think the whales around Hyenas, around Hyenas this time of year, more than you recall. Yeah. Great time for whale watching in the Cape. The last few months they've been making their way around from the KwaZulu-Natal side, and they end up in the Hyenas Bay for breeding.
We are still also sitting here with our female leopard Kazuri, which James has just told me means good. And I think that's because she's a very good leopard. And she's been very, wow, she's been very kind to us this morning. James is also having a very hard time with these cobwebs. So it's not something on the lens, it's the sun. As the sun's rising, have a look how it's catching and glistening on all the tiny little dewdrops around this leopard, and as well as some spider webs that are right, cobwebs that are right in front of us here. Just making perfect light and making an incredible little scene for us. This female is a fully grown leopard. She's about 8 years old, and as far as I can gather, she's already successfully raised at least 2 to 3 litters successfully. Isn't she beautiful? She keeps giving us a bit of a display, a bit of a yawn every now and then. And then she goes back and decides to have a bit of a nap.
But here we've got a female and a little youngster. It looks like she's brushed up against a tree, maybe trying to scratch an itch. Maybe, but that is not dirt. It doesn't look like dirt. It actually looks like a little bit of bark, like bark dust, or pretty similar to sawdust, but bark dust. Oscar, elephants can be can be prone to disease. But you know, a lot of what they feed on. We were talking about hello. A lot of what they feed on has lots of antiseptic, antihistamic, antibacterial properties, which can help with fighting against disease. But that's not to say that they won't get it. It's a happy elephant, look that. Their head up, something in their mouth, and their ears flat on their side. Because he's pushing it through. It's debarking that stick.
And this to me looks like the Malachite kingfisher. We saw not this particular one, we saw another kingfisher maybe a week ago, and she was very beautiful. You see how they keep popping up the head up and down. Sometimes we call that doping, and it gives them a good judgment of where the fish is in the water that you see there. Those beautiful lilies inside. But apparently there's another kingfisher. If we go to the right, we have two kingfishers at the same time. I'm trying to be as soft as possible, they don't take off. See how lucky we are. And that's a pied kingfisher. I don't remember the last time I had two kingfishers at the same time at the same place. Pied, pied for two, black and white. Of course, pied kingfishers are big in size. So here out in the bush, body size counts a lot because the pied is much bigger than the malachite. She can flex her muscles. Kind of a competition or predator competition, if you may call it that.
For now, we've seen small little pockets of zebra herds, but we haven't been able to show you these massive big herds of zebra. They seem to have moved a little bit west since I first arrived. The first couple of days I was in the Mara, they were quite close to our camp, but this is where they seem to have moved a little bit more west. And have a look, as far as the eye can see, there's just zebra. I can't even think about counting them. There must be hundreds of zebra all in this nice open area. We're slowly making our way down towards the Sand River, but while we did that, I thought we'd just take a chance to quickly show you all these zebra that are just on the side of the road here. So we were having a look from our little lookout point, and I think a lot of the herds have crossed into Tanzania, but we've got lots of zebra that are still around, and maybe a few wildebeest left, like the tail end of the wildebeest herd. So we're praying that we might be able to witness some animals crossing the river. We've got some Topi here as well in the mix. Having a look to see if there's any warthogs around, but literally just zebra, zebra, and more zebra.
For the time being, we are here with these female Hyenas, a youngster here with another two females. That's busy enjoying all the little leaves that's fallen off of it. Looks like the bush willows here. Enjoying quite a bit of the leaves for the morning. Absolutely stunning antelope these. I absolutely love those white stripes. It's like streaks that come down the sides. And as well as they've got these amazing little dots on the face area. And they've got these real fluffy tails. And most of the time you find them around here in the thickets. And you've got the male. Dimorphism of the male and the female quite different. As you can see, the male is quite dark, got this real dark chocolate color, very dark compared to the females, as you saw, lighter. But they've got quite stunning legs, the males. They've got these beautiful, like, lightish brown legs. Almost looks like they're wearing these long socks.
We have found ourselves some more giraffe. But, lots of oxpeckers. Oxpeckers are out to play, making sure that the giraffe are insect free. Seem to be a lot clinging to the neck of this one. I can see there's one on top of the head, there's one on the side. That's its ear. And the other day I was wondering, do giraffe get ticks on top of their heads? And I guess they do. Ticks do climb. They do climb quite a lot. And around the cheek area, underneath the chin, should generally be some soft, thin skin. So an area where they can actually, what's the word? Can sort of latch onto. But then giraffe also do bend down every now and then and feed on a bit of grass. I've seen it happen before. It's not a common thing.
Lots of squabbling going on amongst these hyenas. And we've got lots of vultures here. We've got some marabou stork, whiteback vultures. We had some Rupel's griffin vultures. We've got some leopard-faced, hooded vultures. Look at those full bellies. The hyenas here look very fluffy and super healthy. Every now and then one or two of them goes and chases away the vultures so that they can eat in peace. Look how fluffy they are. And there's an individual on the left. Wonder if that female is not pregnant. She does look rather round. There's a bit of squabbling here about the pecking order. The dominant female will get priority and will be able to feed first and get the prime pieces of meat, and then the males are the ones who have to pick away at the scraps, any leftovers. So females, you will always have the dominant females on any of her offspring, and then males are always at the end of the pecking order.
Now, hyena cubs. And from not showing any spots, my guess is she's definitely under 3 months, maybe a month old, and trying to strengthen her teeth, because they're some of the only cubs I know of that are born with teeth on. Second one comes out. Many cubs will develop their teeth once they are born, but hyena cubs are born with teeth on and apparently with their eyes opened. Sometimes you say precocchio. Hello, mama. I'm assuming possibly it's a mom. Do you want to have some nursing maybe? Possibly yes. They'll get 1, sometimes 3 cubs, but in general 2. And in many occasions, they get twins. When she would get, say, a litter of 2, and they happen to be twins, many times one will die. They have a lot of competition in suckling, and there's a lot of infanticide, and only one will survive of the 2. From my own experience, most of the ones that survive are females, though not always.
We've got a little baby out in the open now, but you can see that kind of like a brownish tinge on top of its head and on its back, mostly on top of the head. Those are still the little hairs that I was talking about. So cute. Now it's doing a bit of suckling from mom. So mom really has to make sure that she's looking after herself as well, not just her baby, but herself. If she's not looking after herself and getting all the calories, all the necessary nutrients, she can't produce that that vitamin and nutrient-rich milk for that baby in order for it to grow fast. I think this is like a 4-month-old baby. That's my estimate age. Look at them playing with their trunks. 5 months, my final answer. Just watching it using its trunk to smell the air, just like mom is. Oh, nice clump of grass there, and it's green. A lovely clump of grass there for her.
But you can see my elephant is executing all the plants and all the grasses here. Now we got some cattle egrets there, of course benefiting from the Ellie. Oops, get out of here. That's what that I think boy is saying. But very quickly they have assembled and like, we have to remain with you because without you we cannot feed. And our Ellie is coming very close to us. To me it looks like a young bull. And the cattle egrets can't let go. They knew they stay closer to him, they'll keep getting food. That reminds me when people eat spaghetti, how you get it, on the fork, round it off, squill it to the mouth. Not sure who discovered to eat spaghetti before, we humans or the Ellis.
And you can see that real typical box-shaped head and the yellow eye that's going to come through. So that is a brown snake eagle. And these eagles aren't the true eagles because they haven't got the feathers all the way down the legs. So unfortunately you can't see the legs now, but they got bare legs. They don't have the feathers all the way down to the feet. And they're always sitting right on top of the canopies or a dead tree, right on top. Always scanning the area, hoping that there might be some form of snake that's going to be slithering past here. But I've also seen them feeding on other reptiles. I've seen them feeding on monitors, on agamas, but primarily they will try and look for snakes.
Well, everybody, all through the valleys and all over the hills here, we've got this gorgeous flower, this plant in flower. It blooms between September and November. It is known as wild lavender, also known as blue bush, Karoo blue bush. It's got a sweet sort of smell to it. There's very nice little yellow flowers. Each stalk's got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flowers on the end. And as with lavender, you can take branches of this with the leaves and place them under your pillow to assist you with insomnia, or potentially you're struggling to sleep, so it can help you with a nice peaceful sleep. You can make very nice essential oil out of these leaves. And it's got a very nice lavender sort of smell. It's not as strong as lavender, but there's definitely an element to it there. So some nice medicinal properties. But this time of year, it would be a hive of activity for insects. And the whole ridges, the whole mountainside is in bloom with this yellow flower. And I'm going to take some home for one of the nights when, maybe just not sleeping very well, and put some under the pillow.
Alright, we've got some nice female waterbuck. As you can see, very fluffy and that typical distinctive white ring around the hindquarters there. around the bum. And they never move too far from water, hence the name waterbuck. And they do lose a lot of moisture in their dung, as well as they do use water as protection. So many times you'll find if lions chase them, first spot they will try and get to is a waterhole, or a dam, or a river. And they've got this real pungent smell. So they've got like a little oil gland under the coat there, or under the skin, and it secretes an oil, and that oil pretty much coats, or kind of oils the coat itself, and to protect it from the moisture, you know, from when they're around the water areas and all that. So there's no kind of, I can say, mangy stuff that starts developing, so it just protects the coat.
Actually, this was spotted by myself. I was just about to pull out and said, what could that be? And we thought, oh, let's first stop and look using our binoculars. And those are the olive baboons. Definitely either feeding on the banks of the river or even having a drink. They could drink different water from this, but if they get very, very thirsty, in Africa here we have said any water that flows is harmless. And the one still there is a male to me, and where the females were trying to get the parasites out of his body. It has been known for baboons to do that. And look at that oxbow of the river, how beautiful that scenery is. I think that's what a picture. What do you think, Marcel? Yeah, that's a beautiful scene. So the river calves, this module island there, the lake flies that you see flying where we are, as much as this river and not a lake. Great stuff.
Well, we found a small yet relaxed mongoose, which we don't often get to see on camera because they run away, called the yellow mongoose, also sometimes called the red meerkat. Only averages about a pound in weight, half a kilogram. Lives in sort of open country, semi-desert, shrubland, grasslands. It's a diurnal species. We have quite a crossover of daytime and nighttime mongooses. Although they have been recorded moving around at night. They can live in colonies of up to 20. So it's busy feeding, most likely on insects right now. Feeding a wide variety of insects. Beetles, termites, grasshoppers. Reptiles, amphibians, carrion as well as eggs.
And while we are still here in the Mulawati drainage line with a nice herd of elephants, as you can see, this one is enjoying all the nice green leaves from looks like a spike thorn. The spike thorn. It looks like, I think it looks like a green spike thorn. As you get the red spike thorn, the common spike thorn. It looks like the green spike thorn to me. There's a young elephant, not an old one. The rest of the herd has gone further west from where we are now. Looks like a young male who's still kind of following here. I wonder if he wants to maybe go across the Mulawati drainage line for us very soon. Oh, you want to do it? There we go. You're more than welcome, mister. Why are you backing off? You can do it. Go and join the rest of the family. A perfect place for elephants to be in these drainage lines now. So always being in the drainage line like this, you're still going to have always this greenery around, typical of drainage lines. I mean, if you're flying in a plane like a drone, you can actually see how green it is along the drainage lines. And that's exactly why these elephants will be choosing these areas at this time of the year, before the big rains come, before everything becomes lush everywhere.
Found myself with this elephant bull here, And I just thought the lighting I was telling myself is very good. And just to see the background of the tree line of the Mara River there, and the clouds in the background there. And that's the western horizon. And slowly looking at how the sun is descending. And I thought this would put our day to a very good ending. That is the magical Mara. Beautiful clouds there. I'm imagining the sunset today will be fantastic. What I call magnifique or magnificent. So quiet. Apart from when Marcel talked to me, you just hear nothing. I'm not sure if this same elephant have the same experience that we have here, that is very, very peaceful.
Here we are, high in the sky, with Morgan on the drone. So the valley I was talking about, either side, covered in trees. This wonderful riverine area running through the middle, the number of dry pans at the moment, but enormous amounts of game path activity. So I think when these pans are full, we'll be quite busy in these valleys. Quite nice and sheltered from the wind. There you can see us. Hello! It really is nice. This is my first time being in this area. The technology, we are able to now broadcast from the depths of Amakhala. See the road running through the middle, following the game path routes. And there on the other side of the hill would be the basin, sort of in that general direction. A lovely perspective. You can see the changes in vegetation from the slopes to the sort of hillside, sort of more flat rolling grasslands. Much of it would have been agriculture, obviously all converted back now to natural conservation.
Well, we're still here with our big buffalo herd. Couple of minor disagreements with some of the herd members here. Seem to be ramming each other. That's pretty normal behavior from the buffalo. They do this all the time with each other, females to other females, females to other young to young, males to males, males to females, females to males. Oh, who's doing Fleming Grimace in the middle there? This boy is still watching us. He giving us the eye. You can see he's been rubbing up against trees, got bark on his horns there. Yes, you have. You see what you've been doing? Got flies on your snout. Sure, he has not blinked. Okay, he's blinking now. As you can see, nature never fails to deliver something magical. We hope you enjoyed this safari catch-up. We'll see you next time.